So just for an example, I'm going to give you guys an example of one. I'm just going to go to my document camera here. If I was taking notes, let's say in a biology class, and the first thing I want to do is, what did I say again? I'll put the upper right here.
Date.
Okay. So date. Okay. So 7. Oops. Can you see that? So date up there. Let's say the topic of let's say the teacher says our topic for today will be microorganisms. What's the cue? Our topic for today. So what's our title? Now, if I don't want to draw a T, what could I use right here? Yeah, there's already kind of a built-in. I'm gonna go out a little bit. There's already a built-in line right here, isn't there? So if you don't want to draw a T, and it's a little bit small. If you know there's going to be main ideas, it's a big or long main ideas. Maybe you want to draw your own T, but it works great just to use that red line that's already on the paper. Okay, so I'm just going to use that as my existing T. So the title I heard was Microorganisms. Now sometimes you can do what with your title to make it stand out? Underline. You might underline it. Good. Box it. Cap it. Good. Anything else?
Put a star next to it.
A star. Bold it. You could put it in quotes too. Any of those things. Those are great. Okay? So let's say the teacher says next, here's the next cue she says to you, there are 3 main types of microorganisms we're going to discuss today. What's the cue? 3 main types. So we're probably going to write, and they are, the first is bacteria, the second is protozoa, the third is viruses. Okay, where should I write those? On the left or the right of the T? Left. They're my main ideas. So I'm going to write bacteria. I'm going to leave some space, protozoa, and I'm kind of sloppy here, you guys, and viruses. Okay, so I'm going to leave some space. Then let's say she says, her next cue is, remember that bacteria are one-celled organisms. Where am I going to write that?
On the right.
Right to the, yep, okay. One-celled organism, okay? I'm going to draw my T just because I think, sorry, I can see it better here. Okay, now, I got to peek in here because I forget what else she says. Let's say her next thing she says is, remember, bacteria cannot be seen with the human eye. They can only be seen with the aid of a microscope. What would you write for your next detail? Where would you write it? It's a detail. Where would it go?
On the right.
Okay, good. I like that. You guys hear that? Very small, need microscope. And I could even put need microscope to see even too, right? Good. How about this next one? How could I shorten this out? If you were to put bacteria under a microscope, you wouldn't see just one kind of bacterium. You might see at least 3 different shapes. Bacteria can be round, they can be shaped like spirals, and they can be shaped like rods. So what would I write next for my next detail?
Bacteria can be round.
Good.
Bacteria under a scope can have many shapes.
Good. What if I said there are different shapes? And what were those again?
Round.
And now here I'm going to indent again. You're right. Round. What else? Do you guys remember them? Spiral. And then what else?
Rod.
And then rod. So do you see how I'm listening for that cue, main idea? Here's my details, all related to my main idea, but here's my sub-details here related to different shapes. Okay? So you see how you're always listening for the cue, deciding, is this a main idea or is this a detail? Now I'll tip you off that this will come in so handy when you study your notes, to have them structured like this, to have your main ideas here and your details here.